Yo, what's going on, people? It's your boy Huncho, and this is what happened to 28s.
Now I'm back with my rock start bros. Us man looking at the UK Migos. Talk about breaking down O's until I roll up and take a boy's kilos.
So, 8boyz, or 28s, are a UK drill group out of Brixton and Croydon. The group consists of three brothers, Sykes, Young Sykes, and Lil Sykes. The trio would label themselves the UK Migos years before OFB's SJ, Bando K, and Double L's, with a lot of older drill fans still giving this name to the Sykes brothers. Other members of the group include Decker, Cunts, and Young Archer. It should be noted that Oh Boy was a part of 28s, but switched sides to Cuckoo at some point in the past 5 years. So, 28s would start to make music in 2013 and would come to light around 2014/2015 when songs such as Chicago, Go Ham, and Posted Up would start to gain a buzz in the streets and would start to pick up traction online, getting a few 100,000 views, which back in 2014/2015 would be the equivalent to 1/2 million views now, given the climate of UK drill music. The brothers, Sykes, Young Sykes, and Lil Sykes, being Styx's first blood cousin, would adapt his early UK drill sound and transform it into their own sound by adding an energetic and in-your-face feel, which could even trace 28 as early pioneers to the UK drill sound of what we know it to be today. Of course, a lot of people would give this title to 6-7, which I agree they played a massive role in what it is today, but 28, with their mad energy, should be given a role in pioneering the game, and we can see influences in artists that have come out since 2017 onwards. RNA Media, a UK music platform starting in 2011 here on YouTube, would find its origins filming different artists in their respective hoods, filming freestyle road rap videos, similar to how a lot of older YouTube channels would back in the day. A similarity would be SBTV. Over time, the channel would start to shoot music videos, and eventually, with the climate of where rap was going in the UK, would start to slowly link up with different drill artists and shoot drill music videos, with the earliest drill music video being Lil Sykes and Young Sykes, Go Ham, which currently sits on a respectable 110k views. Moving forward, RNA would continue to work with other artists, but 28 would stand out from the rest of the crowd on the platform. And as of February 2020, 28 and affiliated artists would have 9 of their songs in the top 10 most popular videos on the channel, and those 9 songs would gain approximately 1.5 million views in total. And with each song being about 4 to 5 years old, if we convert that into views for 2020, would easily be over 5 million views in total. With them being so popular on the channel, the streets would recognise the 28 as the face of RNA Media when it came to artists on the platform. They would drop songs consistently, which would start to gain a buzz in the streets, and when early drill was around, everyone in the streets knew who 28s were when it come to music. At this time though, the group would go through some legal issues with Young Sykes, Lil Sykes, Archer, and KZ. According to The Guardian, in September of 2015, the four would be involved in an attack in Croydon. It was said that a man had entered the bus when the four had allegedly attacked him unprovoked on Brighton Road. Here, he was stabbed twice but had survived. Archer was jailed for 6 years after being found guilty of wounding with intent to do grievous bodily harm. Young Sykes was jailed for 2 years for violent disorder, inflicting bodily injury and possession of an offensive weapon, and Lil Sykes and KZ were sentenced to 8 and 12 months detention and giving training orders for violent disorder. Lil Sykes would go on to get released at some point mid-2016 and release Crash What Where with Decker and Movements. With bringing out such heat with an extremely good response from the UK drill fans, Lil Sykes and 28 would once again have a buzz surrounding their names. We've seen in the past that even a small break from music, either because of jail or other reasons, has made artists fall off. But in the case of 28, it seemed to have made them stronger, and at this point, they would further release Who What When, Tony Stark, and would go on to link up with 8-6 and Frogs to release They Know. It should be noted that after Lil Sykes was released from prison, he would start to gain a lot of buzz around his name as a solo artist, but to my best knowledge at this point, he didn't release any solo songs, but in the past he has. Young Sykes would come home some point late 2016, and 28 would go on to release songs such as What's All The Passer and That's Us. Even with Lil Sykes and Young Sykes having name changes to L. and Y. The video would still gain respectable views, but it should be noted that if Lil Sykes and Young Sykes names was in the title of the videos, it would have easily doubled in views. Then, on December 9th, 2016, the Sykes brothers would drop their most viewed hit, Warlords, on Pressplay, which as of 2020 sits on 887k views, again converting it into 2020 with the climate of drill would easily have over 2 million views. After releasing hit after hit in 2016 and finishing the year with a bang with Warlords, 28 were getting set up to have a massive year in 2017. At this point, we would see the UK drill sound start to change going into 2017 with the likes of Harlem Spartans and 410. But as previously stated, 28, in my opinion, pioneering this sound, they had no problem fitting into the climate of what was going on. Early 2017, as previously stated, would start to be a big year for 28, but more specifically the three brothers, with them getting shows across the country, including shows with Mist in Coventry and Abracadabra. If we look to 2017, Mist and Abra were two of the biggest artists coming out that year, so to be doing shows with them, it really showed where 28s were going, but more specifically where the the three brothers were going. It would be early 2017 they would drop another song with 8-6 called All of That Talk, but would go under their movement name NLMB, not to be confused with G Herbo's Chicago gang. NLMB stands for Never Leave My Brothers and No Limit More Bands. In April 2017, in an interview with Uncle Raful on his YouTube channel, here we'd get a more insight to the brothers. They would hint at collaborations with artists, and an insider tells me that they had something lined up with Stefflon Don, who, by at that point, had made a name for herself and later on in 2017 would go on to become a massive artist worldwide. So this is how much potential 28 really had. Lil Sykes, Cunt and Sykes would then go on to release Genuine in February of 2017, which would go on to gain a respectable 135k views. And after being on a massive high throughout 2016 and at the start of 2017, after this release, this would mark, in my opinion, the start of a decline for 28s. At some point in 2017, Lil Sykes would go on to get sent to jail, but I'm currently unsure as to the reason why he was arrested. Here, he was sentenced to 18 months. After this, 28s would go on to release songs, but wouldn't create traction like previous songs such as Warlords. This was because the viewership had mainly come from Lil Sykes as he was creating a buzz for 28s, and him being in jail, this would mark a downfall for the group. So after his small spell in prison, Lil Sykes had a massive anticipation around his name and then dropped Fully Charged in September of 2018, which currently sits on 200k views. At the time of release, talks of 28 making a return would surface as the song would start to gain traction quick, and with more consistency, they could have got back to where they first were. Around 2 months later, in November of 2018, an event would take place which would bury the nail in the coffin for 28's buzz. On November 17th, 2018, Lil Sykes, Cunt and a third passenger were stopped by police on Kingswood Road, southwest London, just after 8 PM. It's believed that the driver, being Lil Sykes, had been driving without no insurance, so this is why police had to stop them. Police would attempt to arrest the two and the third male, who has never been found, and then this would happen.
Right, just tell me your name.
Alright,
because at the minute you're going to be arrested. Urgent assistance! Let him go, John, let him go.
Get off! Thank you.
John, let him go!
AK! AK! AK, don't leave me! Ah! Ah!
Ah! John, leave him! Leave him, John! Leave him!
You alright? Yeah. You alright? I saw your head like
All fighting, the police, everybody's fighting. Look, they've got him. She's spraying them up. He's hanging on to him, look. Oh, damn me, just come through, kicked her in the head. Look, I'm getting this all live. I'm getting this live, boys and girls. I thought I'd just stop it, just have a little watch. This one's running off. They got him.
In January of 2019, Lil Sykes was sentenced to 2 years and 9 months for ABH, driving without insurance, and driving other than in accordance with a license, and Kuntz was sentenced to 3.5 years for 2 counts of ABH. After this, 28's buzz really had died down, with them releasing music throughout 2019, but again, not really gaining any traction. Songs such as Bando Spot, Bando Life, and Drake and Josh were dropped throughout 2019, but it was nothing compared to previous years. So, what does 2020 hold for 28's? And will they be able to make a comeback? Well, on the 2nd of January 2020, Young Sykes, Decker and Sykes would go on to release Facts, tracks, which has gained nearly 70k views, and for them not to have had a great 2018-2019 will show signs of a buzz starting to come back for 28, and with Lil Sykes due to be released this year, it looks like 28 are due to make a return. In my opinion, if 28's tested out some new sounds, they could break down barriers once again, and I feel like they could get back to where they once were. They've already got the new drill sound checked off the list, so as long as they kept bringing consistent bangers, they'll be able to catch the ears of new drill listeners. Also, with them being Styx's blood cousin and affiliated with 150, or as they're now known, GBG, getting some collaborations with those guys would give 28 a massive boost, as from 2018 we've seen 150's buzz skyrocket. So that's what's happened to 28. And I just want to give a massive shout out to AJ from 28's team who helped me create this video, and here's some previews of what 28 are bringing out in 2020, so keep a lookout for them in the near future.
No limit, no limit. I had one wish, this is no wishing well, like one bad bitch, car, she loves to kiss and tell. Fuck it, I don't really need no girl, I need some more clientele. I think I need to fly, I've already been lit. Being in a pagan strip, waving my stick. See man push up and trip, see man trip up and ship. Or they're pushing their bros, they be doing the most.